At the time of making this video, the sequel to 2019's Joker is less than a week away. Looking back at the original film, Joker is about Arthur Fleck, a rent-a-clown who has a lot of things going against him. When things start falling apart, he makes certain decisions that force him down his eventual path into madness. Let's look at how a troubled yet empathetic man struggling to survive and reaching for a dream is transformed into a symbol of justified outrage and vengeance. As I mentioned, Arthur is a rent-a-clown, and he is very good at his job. This is clear during his hospital performance as he sings and dances and interacts with happy, engaged, sick children. He loves his job and sees it as part of his calling. He is obviously genuinely happy doing it. He is also happy at the beginning of the film as he performs for uninterested passers-by on the street until some kids steal his sign. He chases them down, but they jump him in an alley, breaking the sign across his face and beating him up. At work, another clown named Randall approaches Arthur. Randall has heard of the attack and gives Arthur a gun so he can defend himself in the future. Arthur expresses empathy, saying that the attackers were just kids and that he doesn't want to hurt them. Randall insists, and Arthur takes the gun in the end. Unfortunately, it is at the hospital performance I mentioned earlier when the gun slips out of Arthur's pocket while he is dancing and clatters to the floor. After the performance, Arthur calls his boss. The hospital staff have complained, and Randall told the boss that Arthur was asking around for a gun before. Randall doesn't want to be connected to the gun. Arthur is fired. He has lost the job that gave him purpose and happiness. On the subway ride home, a terribly depressed Arthur shares a car with 3 drunk men harassing a young woman. Arthur has the misfortune of attracting their attention. The men come over and begin bullying Arthur. Then things become violent, and Arthur is forced to pull the gun to defend himself. Arthur shoots the initial bully, who flees. Then Arthur shoots and kills the other 2 men. He is now safe. But Arthur pursues the last bully and kills him too. Arthur was safe, but chose this path. This was his first act of vengeance. Arthur feels a kind of peace after this event. He feels empowered. The rules have changed. Arthur lives with his mother. She is infirm and can't leave their home. He loves her dearly, but she has been lying to him. Lying about being his mother, lying about who his father is. She has belittled his career choice and his dreams of becoming a stand-up comedian. After she is hospitalized, he looks into her medical records and finds that she abused and injured him when he was a baby. Arthur goes to her hospital room and smothers her. This is his second act of vengeance. Later, Randall and another clown pay Arthur a visit. The surface reason is to offer condolences to Arthur for his mother's passing. But the real reason Randall is there is to find out if Arthur has told anyone about where he got the gun. Blaming Randall for not being truthful about giving him the gun, thereby costing Arthur his job, Arthur stabs Randall, ending his life. This is Arthur's third act of vengeance. Backing up a bit, earlier in the film, Arthur took part in an open mic show at a comedy club. His performance did not go well, but he fantasizes that it did. To cope with the difficulties in his life, Arthur has a rich fantasy life to an extent that some might call him delusional. A recording of the performance winds up on Arthur's favorite TV program, a talk show hosted by Murray Franklin. Murray is Arthur's idol. At first, happy that he is getting recognition, Arthur's feelings soon turn to sadness and embarrassment as Murray mocks him to a national television audience. Arthur's fantasy is shattered. Surprisingly, Murray invites Arthur to appear on his show, perhaps to make amends, or perhaps to milk the buzz surrounding people's reaction to the comedy club tape. After confessing to the subway shootings, Arthur, now Joker, punishes Murray with finality. This is Arthur's final act of vengeance. There is no Batman in this world, at least not yet, but there is someone who punishes people. This is not for the victims or the downtrodden, although they embrace him as a symbol. This is personal. He is vengeance. He is Joker. Just before ending Murray, Arthur tells one last joke. What do you get when you cross a mentally ill loner with a society that abandons him and treats him like trash? I'll tell you what you get. You get what you effing deserve. This is picked up by people throughout the city, and what had started as an anti-rich movement inspired by Arthur's subway incident becomes something different. The city burns as people express their pain and frustration. The thing about vengeance, you see, is that the damage has already been done. Vengeance is reactive, not proactive. You hurt me, I hurt you. An eye for an eye. Someone has to start it off. You see, all through his life, Arthur never got any of the good things he deserved. What do you get when you mind your own business and do your best at your job? You get jumped by some kids and beaten up in an alley. Arthur lets it slide because they are just kids. What do you get when you make sick children laugh and smile, but accidentally reveal the gun you carry for protection? You get fired when your coworker lies about your interest in acquiring a gun. Arthur gets his vengeance against Randall later. What do you get when you mind your own business on the subway ride home? You get bullied by 3 drunk and violent men who attack you over your disability. Arthur exacts a price and makes them pay. What do you get when you spend your life trusting and caring for your invalid mother? You get lied to, belittled, humiliated, disillusioned, and later learn that she had physically abused you as a child. Arthur gets his vengeance. And what do you get when you pursue a dream, despite your disability? You get mocked for it on national television to an audience of tens of millions. Arthur made Murray pay for it. What do you get when you hurt Arthur? You get what you effing deserve, of course. Don't start none, won't be none. Arthur doesn't want to hurt you. It's your choice. Choose wisely. Thank you for watching. See you next time.